Welcome back to the Kernel Journal. It's May 29th. Here today is myself, George, Jonathan, and Nessa. It's warm 28 degrees here in Pinoque, Alberta today, and the wind is blowing as per usual as of late. So it's been very dry. We haven't experienced rain here really in the month of May. But yeah, there's some moisture coming in the forecast here, which we're all excited and optimistic for.
Sure. So what I've been saying to quite a few guys over the last couple of days is we're kind of in a situation where whatever decision we make, we're probably going to be a little bit unhappy with that. Just for example, if we were going to spray now in these conditions, there's a good chance we're going to raise up too much dust. And then the effectiveness of the herbicide isn't going to be what we would like it to be. The other possible scenario is I've been seeing a fair bit of corn plants the last few days already doing that curling of the leaf in the heat of the day, trying to preserve water. So that's the other possible effect is if we do a spray right now, we could cause a little bit of stress on the plants, which we'd rather not do. So then we got to ask ourselves, are we going to do more damage not spraying or more damage spraying? And one other scenario I'm seeing is the last few days, you pull up to the field, you see a few patches of weeds, kind of like what we're seeing here, and right away your heart starts racing and thinking, oh, we got to spray this. But if you just take a minute and look around a lot of those fields, that represents maybe only 1% to 2% of the field. The rest of the field that we're seeing is there's a few weeds here and there. And so in that situation, I'm saying we need to wait till we get some rain and we get some more weeds coming up and we settle this dust. And we just kind of need to bite the bullet and realize we're probably going to have a few patches here and there that aren't going to look too good for a few weeks, but that's a better situation than going out, spraying 100% of the field, not getting good herbicide efficacy, and possibly causing a bit of stress to the corn. The other scenario we are seeing, though, is that there's a few more fields now where the weeds have been coming up with some aggression the last few days. And so there are fields out there where, despite the dust issue, it probably is the better decision to go out and get that sprayed now, rather than run into a situation where if we do get some rain here miraculously in the next few days and we can't spray for 4 or 5 days, we're probably better off having gone a bit early where instead of waiting and then having the weeds take over 70% of the field. So again, to summarize, we're just in a situation where we have to be content that whatever choice we make, we got to be content with a little bit of there's going to be some possible negative outcomes one way or the other. We just have to figure out which negative outcome is going to have the least effect. Okay, one other management decision that we're taking into account is the fact that if we do get some rain here in the next few days, we could get a second flush of weeds. So for example, on our plot right here, we're going to spray with 30 grams per acre of Sortan and 2/3 liter of Roundup. Our hope with the Sortan is that that gives us 10 to 14 days of residual activity. So in case, well, once the rains do come and we do get some second flush of weeds, that hopefully stems that off for enough time to come in at the right time for our second pass.
Okay, Jonathan, we had a customer reach out and they are wondering, this customer has a blanket of weeds in their field, but while walking the field, their feet leave a dust trail. Is spraying pointless in this situation? What would you do? Would you wait? Would you go for it? What's your thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, to elaborate a little bit more, if the weed pressure is enough, it probably still is worth it to go. In that situation, we would advise go at least 10 gallons per acre of water volume. If you can go a little bit higher, it's a good idea, and go as slow as you can.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Even emergence ensures that our plants and tassels are emerging at the same time so that pollination can be successful in our field. With uneven emergence within our corn crops, our bigger plants aggressively will rob sunlight, moisture, and nutrients from the littler plants that have emerged later. Plants that have emerged significantly later throughout the growing season can actually develop smaller root systems and have thinner stalks, as well as they can actually have smaller ears within the field. As mentioned in our previous Kernel Journal video, we planted this crop on May 8th and it emerged on May 22nd. So that took exactly 21 days to emerge. That is longer than normal, but with our moisture conditions this year, we are seeing that being more popular. When planting our corn, we want to ensure that we are getting that seed deep enough to reach moisture level. Something that can be taken into consideration is when we look at this plant here, up until the V1, so the first collar stage, that plant is getting its moisture and energy from the seed. So everything is coming up from the seed. After that point, going into V2, which is collar 2, it's getting it from photosynthesis. So with that being said, we need to ensure that our seed is getting planted into moisture so that we can give it the best jump start as possible. We are going to wait for some precipitation till we decide to spray this field, so hopefully coming up next week. We want to send a big thank you to our very important and appreciated customer, Walker Galloway, for submitting his question. We appreciate all the questions we get, and we encourage everyone to submit a question, and we will answer it on the Kernel Journal here. We will be back after spraying for another episode, so thank you for watching.